I bet I drill a clean hole in somebody today.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about GTA 6. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I'm going to be covering all of the information about this game pre-launch and after the fact and leading into multiplayer, so subscribe to the channel. We're also going to talk about how people getting scammed, and then we're going to talk about the sales of the game, which currently GTA 6 is the best-selling game across all countries in the world on the PlayStation Store, including Japan and South Korea. And you can see a couple of games here where United States is #1, United Kingdom #1, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Japan, South Korea, Canada, Brazil, India. So this is insane. So many people are interested in playing this game. So many people are interested in buying this game. I also seen a report that said 39 people on day one pre-ordered the game. That basically translates to about 3 billion in sales. Now, for those of you who don't know, this game took 2 billion to make. So they already made an extra billion before the game is even released. And we have multiple more months for that pre-order number to rise up and up and up. So this is going to be definitely one of the biggest gaming like pieces of media in history. I believe that GTA 5 already took that record previously, but they did that after launch and after some time. This one is probably going to do it before then. They're going to sell an insane amount of copies and they're going to have a massive audience. This game is going to be bigger than what we could ever imagine. Now, it's not all good though, because GTA 6 is being banned in some countries. And a list of those countries so far equals Bahrain, China, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, Qatar, Russia, and Taiwan. I know the people in those countries are going to be doing backflips and gymnastics and all jumping through all type of hoops to try to get their hands on this game, because this is going to be the most massive thing ever. And for countries to be excluded from purchasing it, and to my understanding, this is because of PlayStation Store. PlayStation has this weird thing where they don't allow certain games to be purchased. Like, for example, there was a similar thing that happened with Tekken, where that game, Tekken 7, released on like basically everywhere. And then I guess the laws changed since then, and then Tekken 8 didn't release in some places, and people were trying to get illegal copies, smuggling it into their countries. But even when they did so, it didn't like work properly because you have no access there. So this will probably be a similar thing with PlayStation and GTA and the countries that I listed, where they're trying to get a hold of the copy, and even when they do, they may be cut off to some parts of it. Now, when you talk about how far people are going to get the game, some people are paying for pre-orders through eBay, and they're paying scalpers. And this is where natural selection takes its course, because you have to not understand so much about how gaming works, about how technology works, about how so many things don't work, to be paying scalpers pre-orders for a game that isn't even out yet. I mean, it blows the mind. GTA 6 fans are paying eBay scalpers over retail price for pre-orders, despite there being no shortage at all. There's no physical CD. There's only a code. There's only digital. There is no such thing as a shortage on a digital product. Now, it can unlock day one if then the servers crash. That is possible. But even then, the scalper wouldn't be able to fix that. It's only Rockstar and their servers. So this is crazy that people are going so far to pay 138, 120 for codes. Another thing I wanted to highlight is how people were talking about, they were heavily debating the $80 version and the $100 version, the standard and the ultimate. There was a poll that was done that had about 30,000 votes, and 80% said that they're buying the $100 edition. And in my opinion, I think this is kind of funny because the ultimate edition doesn't really have that much exclusive content. Yes, it has about 5 stores, but there was a leak that said the game in totality is supposed to have about 200 stores. So 200, 205, will you even notice the difference? It was my kind of argument. And then also, if you look at what they said on their website, they said that that stuff is really for single player content, and the multiplayer aspect, they haven't even begun advertising that. And if the rumors are to be true, they said that that will come probably about a month later, 6 months later. They'll probably do a whole separate thing for the multiplayer. So if you're paying 100 for single player and a couple of stores, multiplayer is going to come along and change things as well, because those two are not connected. Now, one thing that's important to highlight is the sheer scale, the sheer size difference between GTA 5 and GTA 6. GTA 5 had a massive map, and driving from point A to point B in like a very fast car could take you like 10 minutes, right? And that was one of the most annoying things when you're trying to complete missions, deliver, vehicles, deliver packages, whatever you're trying to do to complete a mission. And you see someone getting the jet on the map and you see them heading your location. That was like the worst fear. But with GTA 6, you can see that this map is so much bigger and there's so much more travel time, right? Even one of the cities in GTA 6 almost spans the full size of GTA 5's map. And you even have memes of people driving like a point A to point B marker destination. And I'm sure there will be some mission somewhere that makes you do this. Going from point A to point B on a GTA 5 map, top to bottom, was 10 minutes. If you do that 3 times, that's 30 minutes. This, what we're looking at right now, is longer than that 30 minutes. So that would be crazy. We'll see how that pans out. But talking a little bit about some more leaks for GTA 6, like I said, it's nothing major or spoilers in terms of story or anything. This is more so just the scale of the game. And this stuff kind of includes like dynamic weather, realistic NPCs, and also social media systems. Something that I was already theorizing myself is that GTA will kind of take a page out of Fortnite's book and have special events. I know, like, when people hear Fortnite special events, they think about like big cubes falling all over the map. They think about Mecha Godzilla and, huge robots flying everywhere. But that's not really what I'm expecting. I'm expecting them to do something a little bit more realistic, where they would have, like, let's say part of the map flood because, Florida could get hit by a hurricane. Let's say, if you were doing a mission and you blow up a building, that building would blow up and stay blowed up after the mission is over. And then maybe over time you will see people clean up the debris and then maybe even start to rebuild that mission. What makes me believe that this is not super far-fetched is because, one, they're already kind of hinting at something like that happening here, but then two, Red Dead Redemption 2 laid the foundation for it, where in that game they had buildings get built over time and they had cities expand over time. This is kind of building off of that, where realistic NPCs will have jobs, destinations, things that they're doing. You will be able to follow them around and see what they're up to. But then also, when you talk about the dynamic weather and how hurricanes and thunder and storms and all of that stuff takes effect, right? And then they even talk about social media systems. We've seen a little bit of this as well. And I believe the first trailer where the girl was being recorded and she had the two hammers. So that already kind of hints at like a social media aspect. And I wonder if it will basically be like an in-game TikTok where you can see, what people of Los Santos and maybe either other parts of GTA world, what they're posting. That would be crazy if you can open up the app and you could look back at, Las Ventura and, Los Santos and all of these different places and see what they're still doing. That would be crazy. We just get a little glimpse of what they're planning, but we don't really understand the full capacity of it. Like, for example, when they say that you can switch between Jason and Lucille on a dime, one thing that GTA 5 didn't really allow you to do is control all 3 NPCs while roaming. Yes, you were able to do it in missions and you were able to switch at specific times, but you couldn't go on a police chase with all 3 of them. You couldn't roam with all 3 of them. And I wonder if you'll be able to do that now. Lastly, something that I want to cover, and this news just broke, is about Rockstar Games and their employees. The employees of Rockstar are attempting to unionize ahead of GTA 6's release. Multiple devs were fired back in October, and a strike could occur if Rockstar does not recognize the unionization. So basically, we talked about in the past how these guys are being overworked. In 6 months, they're trying to do a year of work. So they're being severely overworked. And then even once you're being worked, you have to worry about, after the fact, the company deciding to fire you, which is something that a lot of studios do. They'll have you work really hard for their game and then after the fact fire you. So these guys are kind of thinking ahead and also thinking of the past, and they're trying to unionize so that they can protect themselves and they aren't backstabbed by Rockstar. And it sucks because this is not something that you want. You don't want the people who make the game to have to like do something like this. You want them to just be rewarded for their efforts, rewarded for their work, and not really be betrayed by the company. The company already made $3 billion. They're going to go on to make probably about like 4 or 5 billion. And to treat the employees who are working so hard, so poorly, or for that to even be a concept, it's just so inhumane. And I really wish corporations would stop doing this. When they have a insane amount of money, why do you need to fire so many people? It's just pure greed in the rawest form. Honestly, if this was to delay the game, I wouldn't even be upset because I value the people who are making the game more than my own personal enjoyment. Yes, it would suck, but it would suck more if we're sitting here having a good time and then people who made the game are stranded looking for a job and they can't.